check-in. I'm Sydney. This is Sweets. We're building tools for the music industry in real time. No scripts, just progress. Although I just read a script. Let's get into it. Sweets, you've been talking for the last 2 hours. How was it?
I was trying to use the chat SDK that you sent me last night. Chat SDK overall works beautifully. It requires credit cards to be put in, which I initially saw as a challenge. It is, however, an opportunity because we as a company put in our credit cards. And so while some teams might not be able to get over that hump, we can. After an hour of building, I got the chat SDK working and it looks beautiful. Things that it has that we do not include file attachments, a canvas for artifacts, deleting chats, re-updating messages, being able to redirect to a new chat route and then go back and have the messages get updated instantly. It's really a beautiful app, and I think that there's a lot for us to build from. What I was trying to do was connect it to AgentKit because we build with Coinbase, and I'm trying to constantly find ways for us to align what we're building with Base and the Coinbase team. And so the latter hour of that 2.5 hour stream was me trying to bring in AgentKit. The docs were not super helpful. The Coinbase team told me to reference their examples. I was talking directly with the Coinbase team to debug and nobody on the team knew. They invited 2 or 3 other devs and none of those other devs replied. And so I'm feeling emotionally and I want to stop talking about that. Overall, where I need to get is I want to now extract the things that I liked about the Vercel chat SDK and bring it into ours. The biggest thing I need is the ability to go from a chat route back to new chat and delete all the messages, because on my instant route, when I was doing the migration and I clicked the new chat button, it would take me back to new chat, but my existing messages stayed there. And so that is the blocker, and I'll get to that when I get to it, but that is where I'm at.
Nice. No, yeah, I also last night opened up the chat SDK and played with it. And yeah, it's a great starting ground. So I think it's going to be super helpful to just pull things from there into what we just expand. And it seems like it's very simple. And Vercel is on top of their shit. I liked how you could select reasoning and not. I liked shared. There's just some cool things that are already just baked in. What was the credit card thing you were talking about?
Did you clone it and run it locally, or were you just playing on their demo?
I deployed.
So you had to plug in Grok and enter in your credit card info to use Grok.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
And then you had to plug in a Postgres instance and a blob storage, and each of those things require payment if you don't already have it set up.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, yeah. I set that up. So nice.
For you, you were able to get it up and running simply and fast?
I've been running simple fast, started to dive into it and just like use Cursor to kind of be like, explain what's going on here. And then kind of taking those docs and referencing against Recoup to see the differences. And then where am I at? I shipped a new PR for rename and delete chats. It's a brand new PR. I started from scratch to kind of center my build and not try to rush through it. So we are below the 700 lines mark, where the previous one we were above 900. And I spent a lot more time breaking up my tasks into atomic tasks, and on my scratch pad, having every other atomic task be verify the results work with the user. And it's been a huge help. And then the third atomic task. So it's like a series of atomic tasks in three bullets each. The first one is implement. The second is verify it works. And then the third one is refactor to make this simpler and more elegant. And doing that has been a huge unlock for like just slowing down me and slowing down 3.7 from going off on tangents. It still went off on a couple tangents, but a lot less than before. So that's been great. So that's shipped, ready for your review. I'm fingers crossed that it's ready. And then other than that, man, I'm good. I'm excited. We have the Bradley call today, and I think at 2:30. And I'm aligned with you on what you said earlier this week of what you wanted to get out of that call, which is just understand how he's currently organizing his creators. And because I think thinking through how we can use Recoup to help him manage his creator relationships is going to be an awesome unlock. So that's great. I also, on the sales side of things, got Big Ass Kids officially in the system as a new user with credit card. I'm going to give them the first month 3, but they are officially a free trial user, and I am now setting up their account, which should be done by the end of this week, so I can do like the kickoff onboarding next week. And then we have the Steph call tomorrow and the Rostam Records call tomorrow. So a lot of positive momentum and movement in the next couple of days when it comes to the sales pipeline, especially now that the product is to a place where when we demo it, it's going to be fun to demo. The final thing I wanted to bring up was I've been playing around with, I've been really dog fooding Chill Pill as my artist to try to put myself in the shoes of a executive or a creator manager. And it's been awesome because I'm getting a lot of great ideas that it's coming up with Chill Pill. I'm also finding a lot of I'm documenting or trying to document as best I can when I get hallucinations so that we can think through an eval system. Eventually we need to get to an eval system, because what I realized is I'll give you an example. I asked it the other day or this morning, give me some revenue opportunities for Chill Pill. And then it gave me a great list, but one of them was like Netflix's new, upcoming streaming thing. Well, I don't know exactly what it called it. And it used the Perplexity tool when it was coming up with the list. So I went back and said, well, what's this Netflix thing you're talking about? And then it used the Perplexity tool again, and then came back with, oh, actually, that doesn't actually exist. Sorry, I hallucinated it. So like it recognized that it hallucinated and then said, my bad. So figuring out how to prevent that from either happening or just respond a little better. Other than that, the chat's working great, and I'm excited to add Instant and all these other little features.
The question I have for Instant is, what is the best path? Is it take the Vercel chat SDK and rebuild Instant again using the Vercel chat SDK? Or is it move forward with what we have and focus on the one little thing that is missing, which is focus on how the chat SDK on the plus button click takes you from a chat that exists to the new chat and clears out the recent history, and just get that part working and get Instant shipped with how we've been building it?
What do you think?
Probably just focus on the individual piece. The example is cool. There's things we don't, it's a massive template. The sign-in slowed me down for a while. There's things that it does that I don't know that we want to bring over for authentication and authorization. It feels like a MakerKit kind of thing where it's like, it's a massive thing and it's a great starting place, but
just pulling in the things we want to pull in.
I'm thinking we just pull in individual things for net. Unless we get to a place where we try to pull in one of those and it doesn't work right, and then maybe do a bigger prototype like what I did with Instant. But I'm thinking, figure out, look at in the chat SDK, what that plus button is in the top left, figure out how they worded it so that when you click on that, it takes you to a new chat and you don't see the existing messages. That way we can get Instant out the door. hopefully today. The main question is,
do you have a 2?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a 2 p.m.?
I think my next meeting and last meeting of the day is with Brad.
Nice.
So no, let's verify what time that meeting is. Do you have a 2 p.m.?
Nope.
Yeah, our next meeting's in 30 minutes. I was supposed to go to the Farcaster dev call, but I was so into that last stream. No, it's not my last meeting of the day. I have a meeting with Latasha and CY in the evening for in-process stuff.
Nice. How's that going?
It's going phenomenally. More and more people are building on in-process. Coop is interested in process. Like it feels like an actual filling up a need that creators have been looking for ever since Zora pivoted away from artists and into virality with coins where creators don't get paid. That created a vacuum, and it feels like in-process is the only platform that is giving creators a home to fill that vacuum.
Awesome. Fire. What were you going to say about the Vercel kit? You were going into it. You were going to verify something about instant chat.
I just need to get new. I think that's the only thing that's missing is when you're in a chat on the instant route. Right now, when you click new chat, it takes you to new chat, but you still see the existing messages. I spent 2 or 3 hours yesterday trying to get it working, and I even talked with Samir about it on our weekly call, and neither of us had a good idea. And then you shared the Vercel chat SDK, and it works perfectly there, and it's all open source. So I just need to take what they did there and bring it in. I want to get instant in the rear view mirror so that we can move on to whatever is next. And I would like us personally, knowing that we are earning more right now from Coinbase and Base than anybody else. I think it is important for us to be focusing on their needs. Let you keep focusing on these mute record labels, but they're not paying us right now. I'm not seeing it in the same way that Coinbase and Base are. So I'm thinking Jesse is constantly retweeting us. Jesse is asking for these tools. Brad is getting on a call with us. Brad is asking for these tools. I think we should be hyper focusing on the on-chain audience that is asking for this and giving us funding for the next tech, which is going to look like possibly the same stuff. I think image generation and audio generation, both of those are important. If OpenAI comes out with 4.0 image generation, prioritize that because I'm using the image generation now, and that would be a tool that I would use. If not, go to music. But in both of those cases, store what all of the artifacts that are created on Arweave and create a token on Base. That way people know when people are creating artifacts, they're being stored on Base, and that gives us greater alignment with Coinbase. And then after that, adding in more tools to be able to scrape info from on-chain data, likely starting from Warpcast, because Farcaster is being heavily pushed by Base. It is a rich data set for creators who I want to be attracting onto the platform, and also gives us a chance to rework our onboarding. Right now, we are redirecting people when they create a new artist to go over to scraping. I don't like it at all. It is a long process. It creates friction and people disconnect. I think when I build in Warpcast integration, we will focus on the chat entirely. You come into onboarding. If you don't have an active artist, set up a new artist is just typing into the chat, what's your artist name? Give us your link. And then we start scraping in the background, but you keep going in the chat. And at no point are you sitting and watching that scraping happening because that is...
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea.
So reworking, so I'm thinking, writing this out, media creation, after I get instant merged in, media creation on-chain, specifically focusing on highlighting that on-chain word, creation of media on-chain, as well as Farcaster integration. So let me back up. Media creation is on-chain media, and then onboarding would be this other one, onboarding with a focus on Farcaster creators to have alignment with Coinbase and Base, Farcaster. Those are the two things I think after Instant. Focus either on media creation on chain, creating media and storing it on Base, or updating our onboarding flow with a focus on Farcaster scraping as the first example of how we are scraping these things. In your opinion, which one will be a bigger value add to the product on the business side for the sales that you are running to try to get other people to pay us money outside of the context that I've been bringing in with Coinbase and Base? Media creation or onboarding, which one is going to be more helpful for you in your ability to sell to get more revenue into the company?
Onboarding.
For the onboarding, should I just build it out as I want, or do you see yourself build on the business side writing out and on the design side drawing out what your ideal is and having that be a communication between the two of us?
I started onboarding flow in Figma, but it was a couple months ago.
Do you want to share that and have that focus around it, or are you just?
Let me share it, but I don't want to say that we have to use it. Like, but I would love to get your opinion on, take what you like from it, but I'd rather see your version first and you not get stuck by trying to like put a puzzle that I created 2 months ago together, you know?
I'm glad you defined something that'll give us a good foundation for iterating on the ideas that you've already been pondering.
So as you can see, I got Lion King ready in the background.
Yeah. How many times have we seen it today?
Oh my goodness. Like 4 times in just this morning. I wake up and it's in my head.
How much of the script do you have do you know line for line?
Oh, like the whole thing.
I'm excited to be in your shoes one day. That I'm sure you're hating it, but it sounds like a blessing.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, but it's, yeah, you wake up with the same song over and over. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is a new user flow. This was originally from the Instagram, so we can not worry about that. But we'll start here. So it's in new user flow. I'll send you this. And then, like I said, take what you want from this and don't take what you don't want, right? Landing page to sign up. User clicks the sign up button. Boom, puts in their confirmation, verifies with Privy. If user has never ran a wrapped report, or we could just say if user doesn't have an artist,
right?
They go up to onboarding. The way I structured this is just, it's almost like an onboarding chat is created.
Love that.
And then it just becomes like you can always, the user can then always go back to the onboarding chat if they want, but it's just like the sequence, like it gets them ready for the interaction of the UI. So welcome to Recoup AI agent to help you, blah, 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 continue. Let's start by adding your first artist, type their name below, search artist, and then here's a artist, their user type's name. I've kind of put the reference here. And then like UI here, this is to Spotify, but you could also, like, if you want to add Warpcast or whatever we already have, we could do that. Okay, cool. There's also like a little click to jump to social verification. Like if they want to do something different that isn't listed, then we can just have them add it themselves. Anyways, user clicks next. And then when the user clicks next, we start running the wrapped report and scraping in the background.
Yep.
Yeah. And then like I have some like little notes up here of like what that looks like. And then let's start by adding your first artist. And then a UI pops up that says like, Spotify account connected, analyzing your artist data. So, and then like, so it's like that, similar to how like a tool call UI showing what happened, right? I don't have a next here, so we'll have to put a next here, but And then it just goes through this onboarding. I haven't decided whether we should just keep this chat UI going where it's like it does it. Yeah. And then like I haven't decided if we should keep this or not. Like this is where like it kind of got iffy and a little bulky. So maybe we just skip this stuff and we just use it as a chat.
Yeah, I like the idea of keeping it in chat with fewer additional components to maintain.
Yeah, I agree. And then like we probably won't need this, or maybe we will. I don't know at what point we want them to review and approve Recoup's progress of the scraping.
Yeah.
Maybe we wait until the end. But and then it just keeps going with like the chat, right? So welcome to Recoup. Let's get you started. Since you just approved your artist, I'm your fan analysis agent. And I'm running that agent. And like, so here's a new tool call. Okay, cool. Your fan analysis agent is now running in the background. It's going to track followers. Confetti, yay! You just won. Your agent running.
Love that.
Now let's make sure you know your way around Recoup. Here's your artist profile, and then it like does like the gray, and it shows like where's the artist profile. Click this. Okay, Brayland is up here. Click that. Like so, it kind of has them walk through the app. I don't know if that's necessary or not. Again, like I said,
40 steps. Yeah, interesting.
Pick and choose where you want. Now you're getting it. Like so, it's just like this like back and forth conversation. Sidebar menu. Then you gray it out and click it, and it shows new chat. All right, now you're getting it. So like, and it's just basically walking them through. Okay, cool. Autopilot is to track your agents. Segments is for your fan groups. Chats to discuss data. And then walking through. That's where I've gotten thus far. So I will send you this. Like I said, use what you want. Remove everything that gets too bulky and is unnecessary, right? Like, let's make it as simple and straightforward as possible.
This is great. This includes things I wouldn't have considered. And while there are some things that I'm like, I don't think I'll build that, this is a great seed of like you've already thought through the whole process. And so me making some naive, I've thought through this all the way. Well, not like you've really thought through it in a deep way. And that's a great starting place for me to build on.
Yeah. Use it. Like I said, use it as inspiration, not as like a must have XYZ. Like that's, I think, the key. Because whatever we do to onboarding right now is going to be an improvement to how onboarding is currently. So,
So do we want to go into review to try to get your code shipped, or is there a different?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's see if we can ship it.
Okay. Intention is to approve. Unless there's something glaring, Sid has spent a lot of time on this, and my intention is to approve, not have. I was watching Interstellar yesterday. I'm going to have my critique level down to 1. Unless it's super important, I'm going to ignore any.
I like it.
In my head. New thread, same PR.
New PR.
Tell me, what was your reasoning for doing new PR instead of updating the existing?
I tried updating the existing, and things were just getting convoluted. And I was just like, you know what? If I just start from 0, I'll be able to be very centered in every step of the way.
Take all the lessons you learned on the first attempt and do it again.
Yeah, well, this is V4, bro. So
there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of magic that comes from sitting on the same problem. You actually shared that with me. Instead of going on expanding to 4 different ones, really thinking deeply about one problem. You shared that, and I think that's actually a very valuable lesson. Okay, so the delete route returns if we don't have info. We do the actual deletion, and then we delete all the room reports associated. I wouldn't have even thought of that. And we delete, okay, so what else? We delete all the messages for a room. Interesting. We delete all the reports associated with the room, and we delete the room. Wow. Very verbose. Update, check required parameters, make the update, throw any errors, send the response. You've got caching on both to make sure that we're not hitting invalids. The settings, you've deleted stuff, which is beautiful. Love less code. This is on settings. You got rid of the X button because we can just tap on it.
I got rid of the X to make a general model.
Okay. You've got a generic modal component.
Yeah.
And it includes the X. It includes an X. This already existed, and you're expanding it. You got rid of linter mute. Love that. You muted something else, which is fine. Styling. Chat. Sidebar chat item. Sidebar chat item makes me think this is a conversation.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to just rename this.
I'm just making sure I understand. Don't worry about renaming it. Am I understanding right? Is this is a chat in the recent chats?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is well, yeah, like the correct.
Helper function could be moved into the lib folder. It's even very, very easy to take this out and put it in, but not. Critique setting 1. Chat item. Get display info for the chat room. Get the display name. It's not in a wait. Love when we don't have to wait. Show options. On mouse enter and on mouse leave. So this is a hover effect that
shows the dots.
That will show the dots. Makes sense. Okay. On chat clicks. So all of these functions are delegated somewhere else outside. Why, out of curiosity, why are they being passed in as props instead of having them in here? All these on clicks and on hovereds. Do you know?
I asked it to not make any code file longer than 150 lines.
Copy, yeah. Button ref, stop propagation, menu toggle, more horizontal. Is menu open? If it's open, you see the rename pop up. Could have been delete conference. So this is one of the modals. Are you using your shared modal like you were talking about? You're using your shared modal. Is deleting error, use effect, reset the state when it opens or closes, small delay to prevent the flicker. I'm going to guess that you have this defined in both of them.
I'm pretty sure.
We've got the same code defined in both. It could be dried into a shared hook so that we're not repeating ourselves. We're on critique level 1, so we're not going to put that feedback in here. Get the chat name, delete, handle delete, get the chat ID, and then it does the delete, on close, set as deleting, handle the close. And then we finally got the component code. Rename, modal, helper functions. Again, helper functions could be new file, form state, use effects for resetting. I'm starting to leave them in my own pull requests as well. I'm starting to agree with your thinking of it is easier for the LLM to understand what's going on if we leave these little comments in. I still delete them. Like I'll delete these ones like form state. Obviously this is state. That's very redundant. But like for some of these, like what's this use effect do? Oh, it resets a form. I'm starting to leave them more. Yeah.
It makes your code review quicker, right?
No comment. Validation function could be abstracted to its own. Change, handle blur, handle submit. This is on the rename. And then it does the update. On close, you're using your shared modal. Recent chats is being updated. We're bringing in the chat item. We're bringing in the mobile detection, which is a new hook that you've built. Use outside click as another modal that another hook that you've built. Conversation, artist agent, rename, delete, use params. Helper function could be abstracted to its own lib. Recent chats, fetch conversations, hovered, menu ID is mobile, params. What are we doing with the params? We're getting the active chat ID. Interesting. Why does the active chat ID matter? Where are we using active chat ID?
Oh, that's I added that to highlight the active chat.
And that did not exist before. We, on the left
Correct.
side, never saw copy.
But see, this is what slow down and actually do things for a purpose does, is I now can answer your questions.
I love that you have greater understanding of what is being written. That's, in my opinion, very important. Conversations.map, get the room ID, and then we return the item, pass in all those functions. Where is hovered, on mouse enter, set hovered chat ID. Interesting. Set hovered chat ID. Okay. Modals, there's our two modals. Those look clean. Use mobile detection is mobile. Set is mobile, depending on the size. Resize. Copy. Use outside click. Handle outside click. It's using a ref. Ref is passed in. Don't close if clicking on the button that opens the menu. Code change is approved.
Woo!
A question I want to plan in your head to answer after we get this shipped is, what feedback do you have on my review strategy in terms of our ability to ship high quality code? Are my settings generally too high? Are they too low? Is there a way that I could be doing better feedbacks to make sure that we are focusing on what's important, the most important part of the chessboard, instead of focusing on random things that are not ultimately getting us to reach the goals of Recoup? I'll do this off screen. Eight zero four zero four eight. And we're focused on recent chats. No recent chats for this artist. I have to select an artist in order to see recent chats. I'm not a fan that I have to select an artist to see recent chats, but that already existed in prod. If I click on a chat, let me go to the one that I always use, which is my tickets. I want my ticket one to come up top because I'm always using it.
Pin chat? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if I want to pin chat, but I want the fact that I'm actively using this and it has new messages. And when I put in a new message, I would want that to bring it up to the top in the same way that it does with ChatGPT. Right now we're sorting by when the rooms were updated. And so in my mind, I've been thinking through this. The lowest lift would be when a new message is added to a chat, we update the updated at in the room table, because as far as I know, you're sorting these based off of updated at field in the rooms.
Correct.
And so if we just, when a new message is entered, update the updated at for the room.
Yeah, then it'll sort it correctly.
It'll sort it correctly. Okay, so I'm seeing your animation like you were saying. It's showing the chat that I'm in. These are my linear tickets. This is my most important chat. This is the one I always come back to. And it got to the top because it got updated, which is fine. Chat SDK plus agent kit. Let's get rid of this and let's change it from an and to a plus. Let's check it out on mobile because that's where we were actually seeing. Okay, so actually this is great already. Just renaming the chat moves it up to the top. So I don't need you to, we don't need to add any additional logic. If I want it up at the top, I'll just come in and rename it and add like a 1 onto it or delete the 1, and then boom, my chat gets moved up to the top, and we don't need to make, you've already handled it in this pull request.
Kind of. It's a ghetto rig, but like,
okay, a little thing here that the delete, the Z index is underneath this other stuff, and maybe
That
that's by design. So we'll, let me
It's
try
not
to,
by design, but yeah, these are little things. I think V2 we can.
so let's
V2.
delete this.
Whoa.
Look at how long that title is.
Oh, that's the title. Oh, okay, I was
That's
gonna say, what is going on?
Let me rename it before I delete it. Rename short title.
Now it's gonna go to the top. That's gonna be a
When
little.
it doesn't immediately do it, I'm like, wait, did it do its thing? I would have loved if it like stayed in a spinner and didn't close the pop-up until the rename was complete. These are
Yeah.
all V2. I like how you said it. These are notes, but not blocking. Delete it, delete it. Can I close and get back here? Testing's been approved. Let's ship this.
Yeah.
Add the eye emojis, add the check. Are we late for our meeting? No, we've got this perfect timing. Let's get that shipped and let's jump over to our meeting with Brad.
Merged.
Merged, add the little party emoji. Do we want to, yeah, why don't you give us a wrap up and then you and I can jump over to the Google Meet and just wait for Brad over there.
Perfect. Thank you everybody for watching. If you tuned in this long, make sure you like and subscribe and retweet and just keep watching us build.